You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter here. Hope you're having a great night, day, weekend, whenever you're checking this out. I've got a review for the latest MCU entry, which I believe is the 33rd MCU film. God, that's wild. In the Marvels, which is written by Nia DaCosta, Megan McDonnell, and Eliza Karasik. You know Nia DaCosta from most likely directing the latest version of Candyman, which was fucking wonderful, by the way. She also went ahead and wrote Little Woods, which is a very underrated movie that a lot of people have not seen, starring Tessa Thompson and Lily James. If you have not seen that, you definitely should. Lance Reddick is also in that. Rest in peace, King. But just to get this out of the way, The Marvels is not going to be opening up well, unfortunately. It is going to be the most likely lowest opening for an MCU film in its phase, period. Pardon me, not just in its phase. So, here's what I'll say. I really went into this going, oh man, this is going to suck. And I'm sad about it. But straight up, I dug this. I dug this a lot. I had a lot of fun with this. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. So let's just get this out of the way. Because I feel like I have to go on this rant. So we're on film 33 in the MCU, right? I still dig these movies. I know that Marvel has lost favor for a lot of people, and some people are just over it. I think most of us knew we would get to this point eventually. There was just pretty much when Black Panther came out, honestly, is when I kind of went, here we go. Like, this big cultural event for people of color. And, this is where the films start to go, oh, it's just another Marvel movie. And look, I understand that's not everybody. I understand that's not why everyone hates these movies. But the moment we had a film starring 3 women, 2 women that are women of color, Brie Larson, Oscar winner, might I add, Brie Larson, who has routinely, rightfully so, called out film journalism in the sense of its lack of diversity, where it's mostly just, cis, straight, white dudes who are reviewing these movies. Why are we not getting perspectives from men of color or women of color, people who are non-binary? Why aren't we getting more diversity in the film sphere, especially when it comes to critics? And she's not wrong. She's 1,000% correct. And the moment she said that shit, I went, oh, it will not matter what this woman does. She will always be hated for speaking the truth. And whether people want to acknowledge that or not, that's a fact. That is a fact with any Brie Larson project moving forward. There will be those people who just hate on her because of who she is and what she says and what she believes. And again, she's 1,000% correct. But for a movie that I really went into this going, oh man, people are hating on this, how am I going to feel about it? I will say too, and I'm going to turn the light inward a little bit here. I personally don't have a critic that I follow in any way, shape, or form that in any way shapes my view or influences my perspective on a film. There's really no one. There is no critic that I listen to or watch that in any way influences my how I view film. Because I'm at the point where I felt film criticism, outside of the Rotten Tomatoes scandal, I just feel like film criticism is so toxic now. I don't think it's about film criticism. I think it's just about dunking on people. And, pardon me, far be it from me to weep over, the multi-billion-dollar company having people hate on it, But at the same time, it's just become so draining in the sense of the lesson that so many people will take away from this is go woke, go broke. The Marvels isn't making what it should be. Mwahaha. That'll be so many people's narrative, and that's how it'll be spun. While I'm sitting here going, we just got through with the SAG strike, which congratulations to the writers and the actors and actresses and the non-binary people. Congratulations to everyone who striked and went through tough times and, you know, stretching to make their ends meet and all of that. Congratulations to all y'all. Striking works, people. People don't like to hear that, especially the rich people, but striking works, and we still don't know what the terms of the deal were, but it does seem like the actor, like everyone associated with the strike, seems like they're going to get a lot closer to what they wanted than what they didn't, which is amazing. And that is going to be the biggest thing that shot this movie in the foot, is the fact that we are coming off the strike as of, what, 2 days ago? I'm recording this on Saturday, so yeah, Thursday at 12:01. So it's crazy that that will be completely lost on the narrative as far as why this isn't doing well. And two, yeah, you can't advertise when you're striking. So you're gonna see a push definitely next week. I'm sure of seeing, you know, more Brie Larson, Tatiana Paris, and Amon Vellani, and, you know, Hiddleston talking about Loki and everything. You're gonna see a big push for that over the next couple weeks, and I don't know where this will end up as far as box office when it's all said and done. I would hope it could hit $500 million. I think that's a lofty goal at this point, but people said the same thing about Elemental. The Elemental is going to be a failure, and the film just hung around and just chipped away and made a little money here, made a little money here, you know, a little money there, and it ended up making almost $500 million. So there is a world where the Marvels does that, and it surprises us. But admittedly, the climb is gonna be hard on this. So we'll see. But getting into the film proper, Zoe Ashton, who plays Dar-Benn, she's the villain in this movie. She's also Mrs. Tom Hiddleston. They got married, which congratulations to them. What a gorgeous couple, Jesus! But she goes ahead and plays a Kree soldier who has a bone to pick with the Annihilator, as she is known, who is played, of course, by our own Captain, my Captain, Brie Larson, who you know from several things, including Oscar-winner Room, the first Captain Marvel, 21 Jump Street, Free Fire, to name a few, Unicorn Store. Yeah, Brie Larson's pretty fucking awesome. And what I really dug about this movie is that we get to see more of the Captain Marvel that I think a lot of people wanted to see in the first film. We get to see more of her personality, get to see her more having fun. And Brie Larson is just such a talented actress. It's so cool to see her get to be more fun and more bubbly and get to show more of her personality in this, since, you know, she's not under mind control this time around. The star of this movie is Amon Vellani, who of course you know from the Miss Marvel Disney Plus show. She's fucking special. I said it during my Miss Marvel review. I've been saying it just in general. Young woman is special, and I'm so happy that she gets Kamala Khan so much, and that she is such a nerd. She's clearly a fucking nerd. Oh my god. But she clearly gets how to play this character, and you can definitely tell, very similar to Tom Hiddleston at Comic-Con when he, you know, played Loki, showed up as the, you know, real Loki and goes, what's my name to everyone. You can feel that line of where Loki, the portrayal, ends, and Hiddleston having fun with it. And there are so many points you just see Amon Vellani on screen and you just go, she's having a blast hanging out with Tatiana Paris and Brie Larson. She's just so goddamn happy. There's an awesome bit using Beastie Boys. There's a little montage. We're gonna need a montage where they're playing double dutch and they're just learning how their powers sync together, because the big hook on this movie, or one of the subplots, is that Dar-Benn is using one of the bracelets that Kamala Khan has, because if you remember from Miss Marvel, they even say that the bangles, there we go, came in a pair, and so Dar-Benn ends up getting the second one, and so he basically is able to entangle Monica, Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel's powers together, so that when they use their powers, they basically swap locations. It's really quite fascinating, and it leads to a fight scene using Missy Elliott that's actually one of my favorite fight scenes in the MCU. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it ruled so hard, and that scene in particular just brought a big giant smile on my face. Um, Tiniana Paris, who also worked with Nia DaCosta on Candyman, she's great on there too. You also know her from Dear White People, which if you've not seen Dear White People, watch Dear White People. It's fucking great. And of course, if Beale Street Can Talk. I love the way she plays Monica in this movie because she's fucking pissed at Captain Marvel. And one thing that I really dig about this movie in particular is when you look at the super powered heroes. When you think about, your Green Lanterns, your Supermans, your Captain Marvels, when you think about those characters in particular who can be cosmic, one of the big struggles that they go ahead and face, and fucking John Mulaney's Spider-Ham, Spider-Ham says it in Across the Spider-Verse, you can't be everywhere at once, you can't save everyone, and Carol Danvers is feeling that fucking weight, and because of that, it has some consequences in her life that she really clearly didn't consider. And it's really interesting the way that they bring that into play. And we know how much Kamala Khan fucking loves her some Captain Marvel, but it means that Aman Vellani's Kamala has to see Carol in a not so positive light. And the old saying, never meet your heroes. It's really interesting how Kamala has to go ahead and reconcile with Captain Marvel not being the person she thought she was. And it's a really interesting dynamic between the three women that just works so well. They're so supportive of each other, but there is some shit that they need to work out, but it never comes across as like bitchy, or catty. I think is how I'll probably say it. It never comes across like that, which is something that's a hard ass balance to strike, and the writing team does a great job with it. The biggest thing is that this Dar-Benn is a very just whatever villain. She's not memorable. She's there to be a plot device to be conquered. It's really one of my biggest issues with Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and it's in no way the fault of Zoe Ashton. It's by no means on her. It's the way that the character is written. She is written that she does have this connection with Captain Marvel from the first film, but it's definitely one of those things where you go, well, all right, it's she's connected to her because of this, but it's very flimsy. It's very much there to have a reason for there to be conflict. But I do think that she works really well in action bits, and when she is given speeches about the Kree versus the Skrull, I actually think she works pretty well there. But it is hollow because we don't know a lot about the character. Also, Marvel, y'all gotta figure out what you're doing with these fucking Skrulls, because it's starting to feel borderline, like slavish, and really just kind of gross the way that they're portraying the Skrull. I don't know what the end game is with the Skrull. End game. I don't know what the end game is with the Skrull, but I really hope that I would think that after a Secret Invasion, hopefully they would have been like, all right, we need to do something with Skrulls. What happens with the Skrulls here? Pardon me. I think there's a very interesting dynamic that they've set up. I really hope they follow through on it, though. And I would say more, but it'd be spoiler, so I'm gonna not talk about that. But I was really happy that we get Muniba Yusuf and Amir Khan in this movie, played by Zenobia Shroff, Mohan Kapoor, and Sagar Shaikh, which is what I'm going to go with. If I butchered your names, which I'm sure I did, I apologize. But the Khan family was such a wonderful highlight from the Marvels, and they get a lot more screen time here than I thought they were going to get, um, which was a really pleasant surprise. We also get Nick Fury back in the fold, played by Samuel L. Jackson. So I don't think I'm gonna review Secret Invasion proper. Probably not. It's a C plus. It's fine. Some good dialogue, but I'll be honest, where it ends up gives me more questions than I'm comfortable with, and I'll just leave it at that. But it was really cool to see Samuel Jackson back in the fold, and the way that he interacts with the Khan family was a ton of fun. And I will say too, the last 5 minutes of this movie fucking rule. I was so like, oh my god, you're setting this up. I love the costume design. The costumes look fantastic, especially Kamala's new costume. There's a Captain Marvel costume that they use that I went, oh, I love the way that looks. And Monica's Luke costume looks fantastic. I'm really excited to see where things are headed, given where they leave things after the mid-credit, which I will be the first to admit, I screamed. Like, not even like, ah! I apparently, according to Alea, it was like a soul-piercing screech when I saw the mid-credit scene. Once you see it, you'll know why. But goddamn, I had so much fun with this movie. I gave the first Captain Marvel an A-. I'm about there on this one too. I do like the villain portrayal better in the original Captain Marvel, but everything else outside of that I like more here. I love the dynamic between the three women. The use of flurgins is there's something they do that I went, oh, that's fucking awesome. I dug this movie. I dug this a lot. So yeah, this is a solid A- for me. I really enjoyed this, and I might go see this again on Thursday when I potentially go see the Hunger Games too, which, you know, eh. But yeah, really enjoyed this, had fun with it, solid A-. So yeah, the Marvels, what did you think of it? Let us know in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at jhunterrealpineapple. Go ahead and follow, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us at The Real Pineapple. Just go ahead and search. That's REEL Pineapple. Like both of our pages on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/jhunterrealpineapple. Follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. You can go ahead and shoot the show an email. Let me know what you think of the show. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have a review request, you can go ahead and shoot me an email at jhunter@therealpineapple.com. And you can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. And then lastly, you can like, share, subscribe, follow the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Listen to us on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts at The Real Pineapple. Thank you so much for listening. You can also follow me lastly at twitch.tv/jhunterrealpineapple. I'm going to be hopping on there finally. Week of Thanksgiving. I'll keep y'all updated on that. I'm really excited to get on Twitch. It's going to be fun. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. We're going to have reviews coming up for Loki Season 1 and 2, as well as the Real Holiday series will be kicking off December 1st. I haven't decided what's going to kick off the holiday season review-wise, but it'll probably be Die Hard. So I'm excited to bring that review to y'all. But yeah, going to have stuff come down the pipeline, including a review for Blue Beetle, because that's hitting HBO Max this upcoming week. I'm excited to review that. I'm deciding what else I'm going to review. But yeah, I'll have some reviews coming up for y'all soon. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other. Get your COVID booster. Get your flu shot. It's getting cold out there, y'all. I want y'all to be safe. Thank you for always listening. Take care of each other. But don't forget, as always, to keep it real.